Hey everybody, John and I are back, and we're back with the all-new BMW X1 18i. In actual fact, John, the whole name is BMW X1 sDrive 18i. It's a mouthful.
It really is a mouthful. And not only the mouthful, the size.
Oh,
bigger than the previous model.
absolutely.
Which is quite interesting for me because even the X3 is slightly bigger now. So it seems like they've upsized X1, X3 and the X5. But this is like a mini X5 to me.
Yeah.
And obviously a very competitive category too, what I call the mini SUV.
Absolutely, yeah. The grille, I love how BMW are consistent with this big new fat grille, the chunky kidney grille, the big Bugs Bunny teeth that are now being followed through on all the BMW products. A great car to drive. We're going to talk more about that when you get behind the wheel to drive it. Now, the first thing I must say about this color, right? I love this color. Why? It might be something to do with my Irish roots, but John said when he first saw this, hang on, this was if you're in the UK or in Great Britain or racing this kind of any kind of vehicle, this isn't really a lucky color.
No, British racing green is not a lucky color when it comes to racing, but a stunning color nonetheless when you're driving to a beautiful estate like we are here at Contermanskloof.
Yeah, let's just check wheels quickly, John. Yeah. Very interesting how BMW have carried this, the electric look of the aesthetic of the wheels. When I looked at this, I thought, oh, it's got to be E, because all of a sudden, you're kind of in a place where wheels kind of might be an indication if the vehicle's electric or not, if you know what I mean. They all getting that kind of a standard look about them. BMW have gone, and they feel very small, they look very small, but these are 19-inch.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see by the wheel arches, they're actually quite big. And it's nice to see these manufacturers, because remember, like, mag wheels or rims used to be quite conservative back in the day. I mean, they're getting very creative, and it's actually nice, because I'm a guy that likes to get a nice set of mags to suit the rest of the car. It's important. But the difference that you can see between a normal petrol diesel car versus electric is, like I explained to you previously, is electric cars got more of an aerodynamic rim for airflow, efficiency with the air flowing through the car. But what I also like about the X1 is these shaven door handles. It's really nice, and I think it really suits the car. Obviously, I'm a more M Sport type of man, so you get the M Sport edition to this, which has got the blacked out bits instead of the chrome bits, but there's people that like the chrome bits too. Sure. And then I also think, somebody said to me, oh, but why would you buy this? Why did you buy a Bucky? But not everybody wants to drive a big Bucky. You want to have the comfort of being a little bit higher off the ground, a little bit more compact, and especially for city driving. Yes. Where, Bucky's not always practical. So this is, I think, a very competitive category at the moment. And like you say, it's got a decent amount of space. If you look at the back here. Oh, I love this. Is probably the best look for me of this vehicle, is looking at this car from the back. It's so aggressive. The edges of it, everything about it looks like it's just purposefully, ready to take on whatever you're gonna throw at it. One of the favorite things that BMW is doing for me at the moment is the rear taillight. Yes. It's so aggressive. It's like fighter jet looking. On the X3 and on the X1, it's really, really like bold, and I just love the look. And then obviously they've got like a rear diffuser, which is obviously just for looks. Is not really going to help much in terms of performance, but I love the look of the back of the car, love the rear wing, and then obviously boot space, as we've seen. Look at that. It's got plenty of space. Sheesh, that's a huge boot. Enough to fit the golf bags in, and school bags and bags, whatever, your bowling, your paddle backs, whatever you need. There's plenty of space, so that's also great. And obviously nowadays everything's electric, it just helps when you're carrying everything to get things in and out. Where we are at the moment is there are beautiful dirt roads around here. In actual fact, perfect terrain to put something like the X1 18i through its paces. John's going to grab the steering wheel. I'm going to sit buckled in next to him. Let's go take on some of these roads of this beautiful Stark farm. And importantly, we didn't talk price yet, John, and at $745 starting price for this. Wow, I'm actually quite surprised at what kind of a bang you get for your buck. A lot of people commenting in various articles about South African pricing when it comes to cars. Yes, it's expensive to buy a car in South Africa. Yes, it's, you're spoiled for choice when it comes to vehicles. But the good news is that there's no real bad cars in the new cars in the marketplace. Everything is there for a purpose, has a place in the market, deservedly so. Equally with this X1. Let's take it away and let's see how this thing drives. Cool. Very smooth. In actual fact, there was a part of me that was convinced that there was hybrid technology being used here because of how smooth this vehicle is, because of how nice it is to drive, how smooth it is on the road. I was convinced, but not to be. It's actually quite tricky these days to tell whether it's a hybrid, petrol, diesel. Yeah. What's quite nice is I noticed straight away is the steering wheel is quite light. I know it sounds silly, but you know, when you're driving in tight spaces and that, it's nice to have, you know, it's very light and easy to turn and and to maneuver, which is quite nice. And and the driving position is also quite important. I know, like with my wife, she likes to feel higher up.
Yes,
and
she lift the seat up.
So which you can. And you know, which is going to sound funny, but the thing that I like a lot about BMWs is you can actually drop the seat and sit nice and snug underneath.
Yes.
You know, I don't like to sit too high. I like to sit behind the steering and feel like I'm a part of the car, not on top of the car. And their feature allows you to drop the seat quite low, whereas a lot of other cars, you actually can't get them quite low, and you sit really high and then your head hits the top of the roof. So as you can see, I've got plenty of space. Look, I'm not the tallest guy. I'm never going to play in the NBA, but I've got plenty of space. And also the panoramic sunroof, which is quite nice. That's also a nice feature I like on the new modern cars, is that you got this beautiful glass that runs from the front to the back.
Absolutely. And a very comfortable ride, John. We're starting this ride on gravel roads and roads that are very uneven, and it just sucks it in. It absorbs it really well. You know, this could be a very comfortable car on an open road, on a distance, but a distance travel with your family in the car. Yeah,
it's actually very, very good ride. I mean, look, it depends on the spec, you know, when you buy these cars, and again, it comes down to personal preference depending on what you're buying the car for. But I think this type of road and driving on gravel, tar and slightly rougher gravel roads, the 19-inch is a better spec wheel for this type of driving.
I was chased by a snake over here with this bridges. And only because I was in the snake space, not because it wanted to chase me. It felt obviously threatened, going over exactly with the snake.
Well, I'm sure you got a PB on Strava.
I got a really good sector on Strava there. Going guns for the wall, for leather. Hell for leather.
Interesting for me, because something I wanted to test was, because this is quite a big vehicle, I was wondering if we would hear that, you know, that
road noise,
and also the engine noise, because you know, being smaller engines, you know, sometimes they have to work a lot harder. But I mean, the torque, I mean, listen to that. It's actually got a beautiful little rasp there. Did you hear that? Stunning. But very solid, very comfortable. Good brakes. I mean, it stops really well. Let's see if we can get ahead of this truck there. Oh, there we go. I mean, look at that.
Lovely. Hey? Now, you'll notice on this gearbox, what they've done away with is sport. It's now got an L.
That's interesting. I see also they've done away with the pedal. The shifts. They don't have the pedal flaps on behind the steering wheel. But I mean, Ryan, this is really a comfortable drive. I mean, it's beautiful. And like I said, you know, you just sit really nice. It's got a great feel to it. I mean, the way the car turns, the way the car stops. It's very responsive.
Comfortable seats.
I mean, that's important. I mean, I love the seats. That's something BMW does very well. And you know, interestingly, what I wanted to say is BM has done it extremely well over the years. The cars, the dash, the side panels, everything's very solid. You don't hear any creaks and noises and squeaks. You know, it's really solid. And I love the fact that these seats hold you in nicely, because there's nothing worse than when you're trying to go through corners. And I mean, I'm talking at high speed, even at slow speed, and you feel like you're hanging on. This really holds you snug, and I think this is a standard feature in this car. I know you get the M Sport upgraded seats, but this is the standard seats, and you sit so nicely. So
very comfortable.
Really, and I know we get excited, because we generally do get excited when driving any new car. But this car has really impressed me. I think, you know, for its size and the performance, and just again the comfort and the I don't even know if it's a word I can use, the quietness of this vehicle.
Just how smooth and the ride is of the vehicle. No, well done BMW, a great product yet again. And it's interesting for this, as you mentioned, there's a range, an X range for everybody, but this is it. This is the entry level to BMW's SUV market, where you'd find the very first of a taste of an SUV is in the X1, and they've done it well. They've done it really well, knocked it out the park with us.
I think it's a great car. If you wanted to get into this SUV market, I think this is a great start. And then, as like I say, as the family grows, you can upgrade, you know. And I'm a big fan of the X3. I've driven quite a few, and again, I've also driven the electric version of this, which is also amazing. So, you know, it's BMW comes up with the diesel, the petrol, and the electric version in this. So again, it comes down to what you prefer to drive, but nice that they've got all three options.
Listen, if you are watching this video, remember, like, subscribe, and join us for the latest and greatest in content. Also, comment. Tell us what you'd like to see John and I, and what you'd like to see us taking on the roads. Wow, we're going through a dust cloud. Man, there's a truck that came past, and the truck was almost going sideways. I thought he was a rally car driver. These trucks are gunning it over here. Like I said, let us know in the comments what you'd like to see John and I driving in, and importantly, we'd love your feedback as well in the comments. So please leave those comments there, and we'll do our best to get to all of them. We're going to stop this car now shortly. We've arrived on the estate, and the good news is that while there's coffee for John, there's an ice cold beer for me.